Earth, a shining blue planet, home to the greatest artists and a conceived universe without existence, beckons us to bring our good works to her countless pulsing shores. We are the aliens traveling to Earth aboard the Spaceship Phoenix, to sell art, to learn along the frothing Milky Ways, to share our pieces with all the planets on the path and restore common sense to existence.
Spaceship Phoenix.
I, J. Friend Gogplex of the Intergalactic Space Scouts, hail all from Space Command. The state of Ataxis galaxy is one of division and confusion. It has many sectors in which the Spaceship Phoenix would likely need to pass through. Notably among these sectors is the United Stacks of Ameriqua, a once royal colony of the United Queendom. The entire galaxy is afflicted with a virus called Fear One All. It is important that all keep a distance of 71,214 meters from any tentacled space creatures that may be showing signs of inflammation or infection. The Intergalactic Space Scouts wish you all good luck and safe travels.
Hello! Thank you! This is Tom Doe.
Hi Tom G, I'm Digmore.
Hey Dickmore, how you been?
I've been pretty good. Welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of Spaceship Sort of like Phoenix. And in this episode we'll be talking about quite a few things. We have the plan, like the compass, where we're introducing the hot alien sort of like girls and the state that they're in, which is...
not very good.
We'd like to thank the report from the Space Scouts, and we look forward to hearing from them again later. But let's go ahead and get this episode started. You ready?
Alright, good.
Alright. Passing through the Ataxis galaxy safely requires a new travel arrangement.
We're forming a fleet of multiple ships to escort Spaceship Phoenix and provide security.
The fleet will only rarely travel as a caravan, and will mostly keep a safe distance until a crisis or situation develops.
So as not to only come together in times of crisis, the fleet will unite to form a space station.
We want to work with you all on this to make our journey a successful one, and we understand that some of you will only be joining us for a short time.
As president of Planet Bob, my flagship, the Axiom, will join the fleet.
You have a beautiful ship, Tom, dude. I'll be traveling aboard a new ship built on Planet Bob with the help of the Bobians, called the Furfoot.
Both of us are stepping into fleet support roles to free the Spaceship Phoenix for new alien artists to be crew from the Ataxis galaxy.
It's so hard to say that name. Ataxis. It's not been an easy decision to step down as crew of the Spaceship Phoenix. Yet we'll be stepping into these new roles as fleet support of the Spaceship Phoenix fleet. And we'll still be traveling as artists to Earth to sell art.
Maybe you should explain what Earth is.
That's really, really complicated. Welcome to the Spaceship Phoenix compass. Up at the top you will see that we have our north. Our north is traveling towards Earth to sell art. When we are making art to sell on Earth, we are traveling north. That gives us fuel to travel sort of like north. When we are making props, costumes, and other things and working on sort of like video editing, we are heading south towards air. We're heading backwards. So we want to make sure that we are spending more time making art to sell to Earth than we are making sort of like costumes and other things. This is called zeroing out and or trying to get a positive sort of like momentum towards Earth rather than heading backwards. So moving like forward, we actually over here we sort of have like fire, and fire is our east, or at our east, and in order to accrue some sort of like fuel for like heading to the east, what we'll do is we'll be doing some cleaning or some repairing or some making or prepping of certain materials. And over here we have like water. Now water is kind of like nice because it's got a relationship to sort of like fire. When you're donating money, goods, or materials, then you are traveling west towards sort of like water. And when you do some cleaning, then you have some things which you can give away. You should be sort of like doing that so that your workshops remain uncluttered and very, very usable. Alright, so next up we actually have like high spirit and low spirit. High spirit is when we're sort of like traveling up, and low spirit is when we're traveling down. Now this is like comments and sort of response sort of like videos. It is important to zero this out. We don't want anybody to be such sort of like high spirited that they float off into some sort of cosmic clouds in which they disperse as energy beings into becoming one with the universe. This is not necessarily something you want to do. Maybe being one with the universe is a horrible idea. We don't necessarily want to see your ego being lost. So please, say something negative as well. Positive and negative, up and down, up and down. These are fun things to do. It's kind of like a roller coaster. You'll have fun. Alright, so once more, remember, you want to log hours for Spaceship Phoenix. And when you do a declaration of hours that you have spent working in any of these particular sort of like direction, you will get fuel points to be able to move your ship through space. Yes. So when we encounter the aliens over here, you can use your fuel to come to the ship to rescue us. Or you can run away and go the other opposite direction. But if you do not have any sort of fuel to move in any direction, then you're zeroed out in the wrong way. You're going to die. You're out of fuel.
Due to unfortunate mishap on Spaceship Phoenix hot alien chicks,
Even the hags?
the hags, were discovered in the ship closet.
Yeah, the hot alien girls were discovered in a Spaceship Phoenix like closet, and it should be noted that these hags came aboard the ship during season 8 of the previous crew during a battle with the Brain Police. The Brain Police was trying to put them aboard.
And during the refit on Planet Bob.
Yeah. Well, no, they were discovered during the refit of the ship.
Yes.
On Planet Bob, yeah.
Have been transformed.
You mean they were flattened when they were, like, teleported or whatever aboard ship?
You see this, people? You really see this?
I know, it's kind of hard.
During a teleportation accident.
Technically, they are survivors if you count being inanimate objects and capable of communication and surviving.
Their identities are classified.
Their code names or designations are Hot Alien Girl, Gold, Lime, Gray, Silver, and Crimson. Though Hot Alien or Hot Agent Girl might actually apply as well.
Okay. If we had teleportation technology, we could bring them back to life.
That would be kind of cool. But technically, if they were redimensionalized and spirited, they would likely be old women. They would be aged into old women because of the amount of time that's passed since they were brought aboard ship.
Okay. So, people of the Taxophilic Galaxy, if you have teleportation technology...
I'm not so sure that's even a good idea. The last hag we had aboard ship was fond of chewing on like ship wiring, and given historical records on these girls, that would insinuate that they would kiss things without consent and, blow things with straws.
Then why don't we bring them aboard?
They're already on board. They're kind of like made out of paint and sort of like cardboard.
Okay. And also, what I mean is the new ones with the teleportation technology from the past.
Oh, you mean you combine teleportation technology with time shenanigans?
Yeah.
Well, that could possibly like sort of like work. That would keep them young and pretty and dangerous, but I think I could use a ray gun and like tune the ray gun to do that. The problem is how do you use a ray gun to do that safely without sort of like harming them?
Test it on the hair.
I take that. They might end up bald at the worst case scenario, and many of them actually have plenty of like hair to do that with. I dig that. That's done. Let's go ahead and move on to the next thing. To join the Phoenix Art Fleet, you'll be crafting your own spaceship. This is going to be tutorial number 1. You'll need cardstock, ruler, and for a ruler, like this is the ordinary sort of like ruler that's available. You're probably going to want to take a popsicle stick and make little sort of like marks. So pretty much at every sort of like eighth sort of like mark all the way across a popsicle stick. And that is a little bit more easy to use on a piece of paper than this big cumbersome object. Pen wise, it's better to use a pen than a pencil. The pen's tip is always the same size. A pencil will actually have a variation in the point at the point. And a Sharpie is very, very thick, so you want that ballpoint sort of pen to get to the same sort of like thickness, so when you're making sort of like lines and drawing out a design of a box, it's easy to, it's not going to have any variation. Alright, so the next thing you're going to want is a glue stick. Now a glue stick is actually better for working with sort of like paper than some Elmer's glue. And the reason for this is that the Elmer's glue is much more moist, while the glue stick is almost like a gel, and will actually will have greater strength immediately to hold your piece together. Alright, so setting that aside, you're also going to want a pair of scissors. That's pretty self-explanatory. Get a nice pair of scissors. A triangle is also pretty useful. Here is mine. It is a little bit like well used. And this allows you to go to the edge of the paper and get a straight line all the way across, like so. It also allows you to make cuts doing the same thing. With a ruler, you kind of have to put your hand on it like this, and then kind of your hand is in the way of making a good cut. With a triangle, your hand is much further away from the blade, so you can use a utility knife or an X-Acto blade to do some things. But that's not essentially sort of like needed, as long as you have a pair of scissors. Alright, so moving along. The best thing to do is just to start off making box shapes. Like start with a cube and then do a pipe and then a rectangle and a hemisphere and where's that, a quarter sphere? A quarter sphere, I think. Or quarter cylinder. And then try some like odd ones. And then take these boxes that you made just sort of like randomly and then unite them together into making some beginnings of a spaceship. That kind of needs a little bit more engine than that, perhaps. And that's making it one box at a time. This is important because it allows you to grow the ship in a looser way, so that it's less frustrating. So along those lines, you don't want to draw or sketch. You want to practice making boxes. Your drawing skills are likely greater than your box crafting abilities. And it's better to start out with a basic, simple ship than for us to wait eons for your company because you're still building your ship. Or you've given up, which is even worse. So moving on into how to make some things. Spheres are gory because it's actually made up of gourds. This is how they make atlases. And this is this little feather shape is kind of folded over, and that's how you make a sphere. They're very, very difficult. This is like advanced. If you're able to actually make a sphere from cardstock, I am impressed. I'm not sure that I could do it. I could attempt to do it and then get something kind of like close. It's cardstock is not going to be very easy to make like spheres. Cardboard is a little bit more sort of forgiving, but even that's fairly sort of like difficult. I don't know any sort of super advanced tricks in sort of like doing that. So what you're primarily going to be using to make spaceship models is tabs, and tabs are wonderful. So this right here is an example of a tab, and this will allow you to take one face and another face and actually glue them together and give it some sort of like strength. So having a bunch of tabs like these like around will make your life a little bit easier. For doing a cylinder or a disc, you'll have something more like this, and all these sort of like triangles on the edge can be sort of like folded down, and then you just put a circle on top of that, and then you're good. All right. And then you'll have something more along these lines here for doing a sort of like angle. So you can say, for instance, do like a pentagon with something like this. Yep. Okay. So there's also more complex ways to make little paper boxes, which like here's an example. You have all these little folds and tabs and things fold onto one another and whatnot. But that's not something you necessarily need to be doing when you're starting off making your first spaceship out of cardstock. You are now dangerous, so remember to remain calm while you're sort of like working and making things. If you're frustrated, take a break. Try not to blow up, and especially don't blow up on other people. Alright, so to sort of like recap and touch on a few other things, allow growth in your spaceship designs. So this means that this will be your first spaceship, and then your second spaceship will be a little bit more advanced because your skills are stronger. You're going to try out some new things, etc. Remember the one box at a time sort of like concept. So you can also, as time progresses, you can add or remove sort of like boxes from your sort of like spaceship to create more space or just to make it sort of like larger. It's not limited to whatever your first design is. So also don't draw or sketch beyond your ability to actually make those shapes in cardstock. Don't compare your work to other people's work or other sci-fi sort of like prop builders and artists of the past. This is your experience, which is that one down there, not their experience. So your experience making spaceship models is not going to be the same as somebody else's. You may do something beyond even my sort of like comprehension, and you'll be giving the tutorial on how to do this stuff a lot better than I did. Embrace like failure and learn from your failure. This means to, when you like fail, make a note of it, because this is something that maybe when they were designing this ship on some alien planet that they came across this sort of like problem, and then make a note on your solution, and then you just totally enrich your spaceship design. And we all want to hear about this failure that you actually like had and how you actually grew from it, and then we all learn from it, which is incredible. When you're in doubt, search online. Request help from anybody aboard Spaceship Phoenix, and remember to always step away when you're frustrated for about 5 minutes just to cool down and think over the problem away from the problem. Alright, that's it. That's the end of this tutorial. Thank you.
Jeffrin Gogplex of the Intergalactic Space Scouts here, once more hailing from Space Command. Scout leader Armana Dalunia has dispatched the scout ship TCO-2 to join the Spaceship Phoenix fleet traveling to Earth. She has relayed the following message.
Hello, life forms! In the spirit of all past seasons and crews of Spaceship Phoenix, I'd like to thank you for your current efforts. May the Spaceship Phoenix fleet swarm and protect all artists in their work.
Scout Leader Dalunia assures me that the Intergalactic Space Scouts will continue to share star maps and briefings on the areas you will be encountering. Your first encounter on the outskirts of the Ataxis-Sulfus galaxy will be the Puvian Neo-Nuborian solar system. There are tentacled beings there. Practicing safe distancing is paramount. The system has 3 inhabited worlds, of which 2 are under quarantine. The third planet is populated by a Firechild life form which has encountered the Spaceship Phoenix before in past seasons. Your recent broadcasts have also been received. The United Stacks of Ameriqua have blacklisted you and are preparing obstacles and traps, likely with the goal of diverting your path or destroying you. It is likely that they will employ broadcast jammers. If you are able to contact the Fire Children, it is likely they will buy some art. However, their allegiance is to the former crew of Spaceship Phoenix, and it is possible they may attack you or exact vengeance specifically on you, Dig, for being a former captain in the Brain Police. It is suggested that you attempt to better explain what the Brain Police were actually doing. Mentioning nipplemongers or mob leg galaxy may also help. Once more, the ISS wish you good luck and safe journeys.
Sounds like the third planet is Tondu. Phoebe, please go ahead and enact protocol TTG-47 for me.
Hey, I don't think they like you.
Well, I was the captain of the Brain Police, so I'm not sure it matters too much.
Go, go, go. Protocol TTG-47 activated. A course is required.
Let's pod to our own ships and send Phoebe and Fix to the third planet to pick up some alien artists.
Hold on. Yamamoto DQB.
What's that, Tom?
Yamamoto DQB.
Is that a beep or a...
Long-range broadcast from the planet. It doesn't translate.
Course set to the planet. Phoebe, go ahead and use the harmonic compass to choose your landing site for me. Pretty lady.
Affirmative. I'm a pretty lady. Course received. Compass activation in 10 minutes.
Thank you. Whether it's a beep or a beep, that's a strange sort of like signal. I'm glad we're not going to be on the ship when it lands. But automatics are on. Let's go ahead and get to our own ships.
Oh,
Aboard the Phoenix, the ultimate robots of any universe, the amazingly talented Fix and his devoted ladybot, Phoebe, were shot towards the third planet.
Devoted towards using a compass and nothing else. The irritated pretty lady robot searched for the best place to land and find artist life forms, wishing to travel to Earth and sell art.
Phoebe shortly found the landing site. Expertly she piloted the ship aflame into the embrace of the wonderful planet.
The planet was wonderful. Judging by the many city centers, there was an abundance of well-established and great artists here. Only on the outskirts were 2 life forms whom had been blacklisted by the planet's civilization.
Phoebe, how do you even know that?
Fix. Why do you even ask? Eking and beeping out an existence, far from the beautiful art markets, in a small junk-filled valley. The 2 life forms discovered in their sky an enormous bird on fire circling their small camp.
The 2 life forms looked at one another in shock, thinking perhaps, what is this? Spaceship Phoenix, the legendary great bird of the heavens. Come here, not to the intricately designed and beautifully formed art metropolises, spanning the globe of the third planet.
The 2 fire children watched as Phoebe landed the ship in a great puddle lake near their home. The Phoenix aflame drank the waters in a burst of steam and wind, nearly knocking the 2 artists off their limbs.
Ah, you have access to the planet's data network and chose these 2.
I used the harmonic compass.
Fix was confused on what the harmonic compass was or actually did.
Phoebe opened a hatch for the 2 chosen ones of the fire children to enter.
Why are they not boarding? They're going back to the camp. Maybe they're afraid.
I don't know. I don't know. The planet's established artists have vehicles approaching our position. This planet may have great artists, yet their art is less impressive when they treat emerging ones so despicably.
Ah, They went back to their camp for gear and supplies before boarding. They're on their way back now.
Protocol time to go. Situation 47 objectives completed. We will leave now. Fix before the locals get any closer.
Artister on board. Closing hatch. Goodbye planet, it was nice to visit you.
Alien life form intruder alert cancelled. Potential new crew now emerging onto Phoenix Bridge. Language translation program active. Following conversation not in synchronization with video footage. Translation of alien language not available in real time. Ship on course to join fleet outside solar system.
In the spirit of the Spaceship Phoenix art fleet, hi, I'm Captain Digmore of the Furfoot.
The ship speaks?
And I am Tom Dew of Planet Bob.
No, is other ship speaking to us? I ask them questions. Why? Ship empty. Why alone? Why robots? Why face? Why that face? Why wear crown on that face head? What kind of supplies are on the ship?
We have several months of art supplies and all things you need to survive and be creative.
Who was that?
That was Phoebe. Her and Fix are both standard robot crew on the Phoenix. The ship was empty because it needed new artists to lead us all towards Earth.
Is there food? I see no food. Battle is not food. We need food.
There's a galley on the second deck.
Did I hear Planet Bob?
Yes, I am the current president of Planet Bob. The Spaceship Phoenix art fleet just set off from there to return on its journey to sell art on Earth.
If you do not want to travel in the direction of Earth, as per intergalactic ship personnel requirement, no kidnapping regulations or IceBank, we are required to offer you an immediate return trip.
Dick, do you really have to talk about IceBank?
I agree with Phoebe.
Counterstatements while doing a legally required speech is pretty much standard practice in the past seasons of Spaceship Phoenix. It would be nice if we could keep that in the past.
There is spanking?
It's an acronym for Ship Personnel Requirement No Kidnapping. It's a suggested spaceship policy so local peoples do not attempt to spank us or you.
Spanking is okay?
Within the Spaceship Phoenix Art Fleet Code of Care, Keylist, or Spathcock, we can alternatively offer you command of the Phoenix to lead us all towards Earth.
Okay, Jack. I do not know what to say to such an incredible offer. Can we leave the fleet or ship at any time?
No.
If you agree, we will start out with a 3-hour tour of duty during which you will be familiarized with the ship and how it runs. Then you'll be more able to evaluate and determine for yourself a longer stay, such as a 3-month tour of duty.
I want to start the 3-hour tour. Why you? Who else is in this?
Tom Dew and I are here primarily to represent the fleet and to assist you in the journey towards Earth.
The fleet is still growing and you'll meet them all later. Fix and Phoebe will remain in their maintenance closet during your 3-hour tour.
I want to see Golly. Much better food, I hope, than Puddle Lake on Glossabek. I joined for 3-hour tour. Phoenix Bridge is very nice. I could see a Bobby and Influence. Oh, Bobby and
New crew, what names would you like to put on the ship roster?
Rachel was GQ. I am Ismu Fezzi, sentient fungus and all-field engineering artist from deep space.
So much has happened, I'm discombobulated. We have new crew, and a fleet, and a compass, and so much is going on. I'm an excited robot lady. Excited robot lady trapped in maintenance closet. This is torture.
Yes, Phoebe, though you're not alone in this maintenance closet.
Oh no.
Spaceship Phoenix.